Hi guys, this is Vineet, and in this video we will talk about how you can rename a database in SQL Server. So let's go to notes. So let's discuss about few of the restrictions while you trying to rename a database. So one of the restrictions is you cannot rename system databases. Those cannot be renamed. System databases include these databases, the master, model, MSDB and tempDB. So these are some of the system databases, and database name cannot be changed while other users are accessing the database. So if a particular database is in use, we will not be able to change the database name. And renaming the database does not change the physical name of the database or the name of the physical files on the disk, or even the logical names of the files. So let me show you where do we see the physical name and the logical name of the files. So if we go to the properties of a particular database, if we go to files section, you will see logical name present over here. So if a database is in if we do a database rename, these name does not change. Even the logical name and the physical file name which are present over here, they do not change if you rename a database. So let's go through some of the demos. In first demo we will see how you can rename a database using SQL Server Management Studio and Transact SQL, and after that we will go through another demo which will show you how you can reset your default database after rename operation. So let's see how you can rename a database using SQL Server Management Studio and Transact SQL. So let's go inside SQL Server. So we are inside the SQL Server Management Studio. On the left hand side there is an Object Explorer. So under the Object Explorer we need to make sure that there are no open connections to a database, and also if you like, you can restrict a database to a single user mode. That can be done by using properties. So for example, if we want to change the name of the sample DB, and we want to make sure that only a single user is using our database at a particular time, so we can go to properties, and under the option section we can set the database to single user mode. So let's see where that mode is. There is a section on single user mode. Let's check on that. So right now database is in multi-user mode, so we can set it to single user mode if we want to perform our rename operation. So right now the database is in single user mode. So basically setting the database in single user mode closes any open connections and prevent other users from connecting while we are changing the database name. So these are one of the things which can be performed prior to renaming a database. Alright, so let's show you how you can rename a database. So let's change the name of the database sampledb. So right click on that database sampledb and select the rename option. So I'm making sampledb, changing the sampledb name to testdb and pressing enter. Now the sampledb name is changed to testdb. And if we take a look at the properties of this database, and if we check the file section, we will see that the logical names are still intact and the physical file name is still intact, referring to the sampledb test file and the sampledb log file. So that ensures that if we rename a database, it does not change the logical name and the physical file name of a database. So we have just shown you how you can change the name of a database using the SQL Server Management Studio. Let us show you how you can perform the same operation using the transact SQL statement. So let's see. So let's switch the database back to multi-user mode. I will show you how you can perform this operation via the T-SQL command. So I'm going to the properties of a database, setting it to the multi-user mode. Yes. So the database is now not in the single user mode. So let's open up a new query and type in some SQL statements. So we need to use the alter database statement. Along with that, you need to specify the name of the database, which is sampledb. First of all, we want to set the database into a single user mode. So we need to use the set statement, and we will set the single user mode by using the set single user option, and we will also use the with immediate rollback option. So what's the use of this immediate rollback option? Let's discuss about that. So basically, in order to obtain an exclusive access, we can use this termination option with rollback immediate, and basically this will cause all incomplete transaction to be rolled back, and any other connections to a test database to be immediately disconnected. So using with immediate rollback basically causes any incomplete transactions to roll back immediately. That is what the purpose of with rollback immediate statement. So let's execute this command. So let's see why. So the syntax is not correct. So it's with rollback immediate and not like with immediate rollback. So the statement is with rollback immediate. So let's execute this statement. So right now it's not sampledb, so it's testdb. So let me use testdb here. So let's alter this db. Alright, so this command is complete. The database is set to single user mode. We can refresh the databases to see what mode it is set to. So right now it is set to single user mode, and all the transactions which are uncommitted are rolled back. And now once again alter the database testdb, and what we will do, we will modify the name to sampledb, which was its previous name. And what we will do after that, let's issue another alter database statement for sampledb. After it will get renamed to sampledb after running this statement. So after it is renamed to sampledb, we will alter the sampledb and set the multi-user mode. So what we will do, we will execute both the statements, and these name is not required in the codes. Codes are not required. So let's execute these two statements, which will perform the rename operation. So database is renamed. We can refresh the database or the databases section. So testdb is now renamed to sampledb, and it's in multi-user mode. So guys, we have shown you how you can rename a database using the SQL Server Management Studio as well as using the Transact SQL. And there is another demo which we want to take you through. So that is basically how you can reset your default database after a rename operation. So this is done in the case if the database you are renaming was an default database of your system, but in our case it's not a default database. So if we close this query window, if we go to databases and if we issue new query, you see that master is the default database of our system. But yeah, in case the sample DB database was the default database of our system and if we rename it to something else, that will cause the issues. So basically we will show you. So if the sample DB was the default database and we had renamed it to test DB, we will start receiving errors like cannot open user default database, and we need to use a certain command to set the default database. So let me show you how you can set sample DB as the default database. So guys, let me show you the query to change the default database. So you need to type the alter login query, and you should be in the master database at that time. So alter login, after that you need to specify the login. In our case we are using this login. You can find the logins under the securities section just below the databases, and there's a login section you can expand. So I'm using this account right now. I can copy this account and put it in here, and we are altering basically the default database for this user login ID. So we need to specify the login. After that we need to specify the with default database option, and we need to set it to the newly renamed databases. In our case, let's set it to SampleDB because SampleDB is the newly renamed database, and the database should not come in quotes, so you can omit the quotes. Execute the statement. Now the default database is checked to set to SampleDB. So if we close this statement, close this query window, and if we select master and open up a new query, or even if we select the database and click on new query, what it will do, it will select SampleDB as its default database. You see it here, it's connecting to SampleDB as its default database. So guys, we are done with this video. I hope you like this video. Please like, comment and share this video. Please subscribe to my channel, hit on the bell notification icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. Thank you so much for your time on this video. Have a wonderful day ahead.